My name is Jim McGeehan, and I'm the founder of Dynatrac, and we're going to talk a little bit about the ProGRIP brake kit that we designed for the Jeep JK. The number one thing that makes this kit effective is it's a four-wheel kit, not a front-wheel kit. So we are going to improve the braking on 4 tires instead of 2 tires. It's the tires on the pavement that actually stop the car. The key is to stop those tires as hard as possible without causing them to skid and going into an ABS condition. So having a balanced brake system was really the principal focus of our design. Balanced means that the vehicle stops front wheels and rear wheels together, and not just front wheels only and not just rear wheels only. The larger rotors give a mechanical advantage for the calipers. It's like gripping a bigger steering wheel. So a bigger rotor is going to have more leverage on stopping the tire. The friction of the brake material is very, very important. We spent a great deal of time dyno testing many different varieties of brake linings to get their characteristics. Then it was off to do some real-world testing in a Jeep. We took a 4-inch lift JK with 37-inch tires, and we instrumented it so that we could measure its stopping capability, both front and rear, and also the speed that the stopping would occur and the pedal effort that was being applied. With the Dynatrac ProGRIP brake system, we were able to measure a 30% improvement in overall braking performance at a wide variance of speeds. One of the key benefits of the Dynatrac ProGRIP brake system is that the even braking across all 4 tires brings the car to a stop in a flatter stance. So when you step on the brakes, the nose doesn't dive and the rear doesn't lift up and take pressure off of the back tires. Another very important requirement for the Dynatrac ProGRIP brake system was to make it easy to install. A lot of brake systems require you to break into the hydraulic part of the system, upgrade master cylinders, do a lot of sophisticated brake bleeding, which can oftentimes be difficult without the equipment that sometimes only the dealer has. The Dynatrac ProGRIP brake system can be easily installed in a driveway with ordinary hand tools. It does not require any bleeding of the system, master cylinder changes, and the feel of the pedal will be just as firm as it was when the vehicle was stock, but the vehicle will now stop faster. Okay, we're going to take a look at what comes in your Dynatrac ProGRIP brake system. The first components are the special rotors. The rotors are a larger diameter than the stock rotors. The rotors on the Dynatrac ProGRIP brake kit use a unique style of venting. It's a vented rotor, which means there's airspace between the 2 friction surfaces. The pillar style of venting provides more support for the surface so that it is a firmer, harder surface with less deviation. But it also creates a lot more surface area inside to let the rotor cool faster. The kit uses the stock calipers. That's how we make the installation so easy. You don't have to disconnect any brake lines, you don't have to bleed any brakes, and you don't have to change any master cylinders, and you still keep that great pedal feel that the factory gave you when the Jeep was new. The kit also includes 4 new caliper brackets, 2 for the front, 2 for the rear. The caliper brackets move the calipers outward to match the larger diameter of the rotors. This gives more leverage on the wheel, and more leverage equals more braking power. The other key component of the kit is the proprietary ProGRIP brake pads. We spent a lot of time researching different friction materials for our brake pads, and we've chosen the very best materials available that give the balanced braking and maximum tire adhesion we want for our JK. The Dynatrac ProGRIP brake kit is designed to maintain that optimum braking and maximum adhesion.
It doesn't take much to install a Dynatrac ProGRIP brake system on a Jeep JK Wrangler, and the following will help illustrate just how easy it is to do. As is the case with anything you install on your Jeep, be sure to carefully read through the directions and verify that you aren't missing any parts before proceeding. To begin, open up the hood of your Jeep and remove the cap on your master cylinder. While we had the benefit of a lift to help us out, a good floor jack is all that you'll need to get the front of your Jeep lifted up and sitting safely on a pair of jack stands. With your wheels off the ground, you can now remove them and set them aside. Using a 15mm wrench to hold the inner nut, remove the 2 bolts securing the caliper to the bracket with a 13mm wrench. With the bolts removed, disconnect the ABS line from its retaining clip and then separate the brake caliper from the bracket and tie it up or set it aside so that it doesn't hang from the brake line. Now, pull out the 2 sliding pins from the caliper bracket, and then use a 21mm socket to remove the 2 bolts securing the bracket to the steering knuckle. Due to thread locker having been applied to the bolts from the factory, you will need to use an impact gun or a breaker bar to free them up. You can now remove the caliper bracket along with the brake pads and discard them as they will not be reused. With the caliper brackets off, the rotor should slip right off the wheel studs. Install the new guide clips provided with the kit onto the new Dynatrac caliper bracket. These clips are directional, and it is important that you install them as shown. If necessary, refer back to the photos in your instructions to make sure that you're doing this right. Apply a thin layer of anti-seize to the inside of the guide clips, and then carefully install your new ProGRIP brake pads into the caliper bracket. Using a clean rag and a liberal amount of brake cleaner, thoroughly clean the surface of the ProGRIP rotor and then install it onto your axle. Take the factory caliper bracket bolts you removed earlier and apply some red thread locker onto them. Install the assembled Dynatrac caliper bracket onto the steering knuckle and secure it in place using the factory bolts. You will need to tighten these bolts to 120 foot-pounds of torque. Take the 2 factory sliding pins you removed earlier and thoroughly clean them before applying grease to the shafts and to the insides of the boots. Once greased, install the 2 sliding pins into your new Dynatrac caliper bracket. Using a large C-clamp and a small block of wood, press in the factory caliper piston as shown. This is a necessary step to ensure the caliper will install onto the caliper bracket with ease and without damaging the brake pads. You should now be able to carefully slide the factory caliper onto the Dynatrac caliper bracket. Apply red thread locker to the factory caliper bolts and then use them to secure the caliper to the Dynatrac caliper bracket. You will need to tighten these bolts to 26 foot-pounds of torque. Finally, you'll need to reinstall the ABS line back into its retaining clip. For the most part, that's all there is to it, and the installation of the rear brakes will pretty much follow the same steps. Again, this was only a reference to help illustrate just how easy it is to install a Dynatrac ProGRIP brake system. Please be sure to refer back to the instructions included with your kit to ensure that you have installed everything correctly. Now, get out and enjoy your ability to stop your Jeep again.
Wow. That's
Pretty good.